You're about to listen to the award-winning Stuart Pedasso Show. This show is for biologically and emotionally mature audiences. If you should not be here, please go away. We'll still be here when you're mature enough to partake. Mwah!
Nervous. I'm ready.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Stuart Pedasso Show, the award-winning Stuart Pedasso Show. I'm Dave.
I'm Melissa.
And I'm Special K sitting in.
And we warned you, Special K is back with us.
Special K, it's been a while.
It's been a while. And I'm just going to give you a heads up. We laid down some stuff for bits, so we got new bits coming up. Not after this show, because I have to go into post-production and do some stuff. So, but they're coming very soon. Within the next week, we'll have new bits, and they're going to be really pretty fucking cool.
It's going to be great. I'm really excited about
You're
it.
gonna like it. How the hell have you been?
I'm so fucking good.
I mean, not even on the show. I mean, other than bumping into you at the store a few weeks ago, I haven't seen you in forever.
I know.
You've been busy.
So good. So much has changed. So good. I'm still working in schools, and I love it.
You have a different role, though, right?
Yeah, so I'm a coach now. So I tend to work with teachers to really hone their teaching craft. So I was in the classroom for over a decade, and now I'm in a role where I work with teachers, maybe do some demo lessons, maybe co-teach, and really get in there and support teachers. Because when we support teachers, we support our children.
Sure do. Sure enough.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, totally.
And then, right, so I'm at a different school than I was when I was here ages ago, and I love it. And I've had a baby.
You did have a baby.
And he's so cute. He's
really
two.
Your baby's
He's
cute.
two, and he's the best. He's the best boy. I love him. And what else? Yeah, just out here doing all that. Survived the the pandemic. It was good. It was actually, I was seeing someone at the time, so I wasn't alone, which was nice. I really feel for people who were like on their own.
I know.
Oh
I had a few
gosh.
friends that I worried about who were living on their own.
You know, it'd be worse if you were stuck with somebody you don't want to be stuck.
Well,
That would be even longer. Oh my God. I'd rather be alone.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, in that case, yes.
And so that's what we're doing.
Kick
That's
you out
what's
of the house,
shaking.
let the zombies
I know,
get your
right?
ass.
That's right. That's right. Good luck. Don't suck.
So we're going to get to it because we're going to do some housekeeping-y stuff, and I want to talk about Pride because we were talking about that a lot last week. So I want to catch up on that. But I specifically, well, you're always welcome. I always want you here. But I wanted to talk about something because we're going to talk about something about teaching and education and kids and
equity.
Yeah. So I want to do that. But I swear we're going to get to that. Just going to let all the drugs take effect first. That was a joke. Only one of us is on something.
I'm a teacher. Never.
So you have to guess which one. It's like a shell game. Which one of us is
know
on
who
first?
it is.
We know it's you. So, but like we talked about last week, yesterday as we're recording this was the Rochester version of Pride.
Yes.
Right? And you were there out on the streets, literally.
Yeah.
You were on the streets.
Well, not on the street, but I was on the corner of
the sidewalk.
on the side. I was I was
When you
at,
talk about doing shit, sidewalk is still the street.
Yeah, so
Heck yeah.
where I was is I have friends, very good friends, dear friends of mine who live in a house on the corner of Park Avenue, which is where the parade is, and Barrington, which is a very nice street. Mm-hmm. And so they live in a really nice, they have an apartment in this really great big house, and they have this great yard. And so we put, last year we did this, and this year we did it again, where I put out a canopy with some tables, and I sold my Pride bracelets.
Hey.
And this year I had Dan with me, so it was nice having my husband there with
picture,
me. And so that was lovely. And he hasn't been to Pride in years because usually he's working, so he was not. So he actually got to enjoy it and see people, and so
What did
it's
he
nice.
think after not being there for a couple of years? Because
You
it
know
wasn't
what?
going
It was-
on for a couple, and then he
I
was
don't
working
think-
for a couple.
Well,
It's
he
been a
knew
while.
it was longer than it used to be because it is like 2 hours long,
It's like an hour and a half to hour 40 for sure, for sure.
and yeah.
Oh
it
yeah,
was
for
really
you,
long.
that's right. Because I was on the other end. I was on the Alexander end. So for me, it was significantly shorter. But for
Oh,
you,
yeah,
it
for
would
me,
be
I'm
that
towards
for
the
you.
other
That's
end.
Were
right.
you in the parade?
No, I was not
Were you
in
just
the
hanging
parade,
out,
but
just
we were
watching?
hanging out outside of one of the bars there,
Like you do.
like we do.
with the kid.
Like you and your baby.
No, I brought him last year, and that was really fun. And he was a little
brought
like,
your
"What is
baby
going
to
on?"
a
Of course, yeah.
Nah, listen, we were outside. We were outside. It doesn't count. It's outside. It's
a quote
nature.
from a movie.
Yeah, that's right. No, last year he was with me, but this year backed up with a nap. So I had my friend's daughter hang with him, and I actually got some time away.
That's nice too. That's lovely.
And it was wonderful.
is.
So I got to just sort of be, which was beautiful.
By the
That's
way,
nice.
can I acknowledge something really quick? As
Sure.
a quick little aside. The fact I actually, and it wouldn't have been a bad thing, I kind of just made an assumption that you were going to bring him here.
Oh my word.
And
And
the
I was like, what the heck is he going to do? He'd be into everything.
No, that's true. You're
Yeah,
right.
he's
Oh,
that
yeah,
age.
he is.
He
getting
would be
into
into
stuff.
everything.
And
He's
yeah,
listen.
that's the
Before
age.
he was moving, I brought him everywhere. I mean, I still bring him everywhere, but I just have to be aware of now. Like, okay, he's going to be moving. We went to Three Heads once, real quick, and I want to get back to your story. We went to Three Heads once with my girlfriend, and he was sitting in his stroller, and then he was snacking, but he wanted to get out. Okay, so I got him out. He was walking up to everyone. He was like, "Hi," and he goes to the next person, "Hi," and I'm like, "Okay, come on, sweetheart." But he was like up and moving,
Like, nope.
up and moving.
Three Heads
and
is pretty safe.
That's totally.
There's nobody
That's like
there
the
who's-
perfect.
yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Everybody
There's
loved him.
no-
It was perfect. And I actually saw some old friends that I know through you 2 were there, and so we chatted
I
for
know
a
who-
while. Yep.
It was Three Heads. So it was Sean and Renee.
Okay, I just wasn't
I
sure
knew
if I
it.
could
Oh,
say
no,
their
it's
names.
Sean. It was
Okay,
Sean
okay,
and Renee.
okay.
If it was Three
Yeah.
Heads, it was Sean and Renee.
Yeah.
And we were chatting, and that was wonderful. And they were like, "Oh, look at how cute he is. He looks just like you." It was so sweet. And then, but anyway, so he was all over the place, which is fine. And I just need to know when I go places, he's going to be all over the place. So I wanted to make sure I could focus on you all.
Well, not only that, actually, now that I think about it, especially not that this matters, we literally today, a week and a half ago, for no reason, I was actually not even, I was downstairs. This shelf just fell off the wall.
No way.
Yeah, and all the shit came crashing
Oh,
down.
no.
So I'm still trying. It's almost back to where it was, but I got a lot of crap. Yeah, he would be.
Oh, he would be. Don't worry, he'd help you sort it. I call him my helper. He
there's
takes
nothing
everything
here-
off the shelves.
There's nothing here that I really give a shit about. But yeah, he would be pulling stuff off.
That's what toddlers do.
Kids do.
That's what they should do.
Yeah,
that's what they should do, right?
So
That's what
I'm
they do.
dying to know. I'm sorry, I'm totally turning on that.
Okay.
I'm dying to know. So how'd it go yesterday?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
so how-
exactly. No, that's
Yeah,
what I want. I
that's
want to
what-
get
yeah,
back to
so
you.
it went good.
That's how we roll.
It wasn't so last year
Right.
was the first year back from the pandemic. So
And that parade
last
was
year
High
was
energy. It was
high energy. It was insane. The amount of people that were there were insane. It was not as insane as last year. So I did not do as good as I did last year. But I definitely made a profit.
We love that.
I made a profit. It's fine. I was hoping to make a little more because I was thinking about buying a specific thing, but that's okay. I'm fine. It'll be fine. I don't
And you
need
got
to
your
buy-
name out there.
Got my name out there again. I had some repeat customers. That was nice.
good.
So, I mean,
Hung out with my husband all day and with another friend who happened to stop by.
You're
and
not going to cut the pay of your sweatshop workers now, are you? Presuming.
oh, what a fun! Oh wait, one person.
They don't
was
get paid
funny.
anyway. Don't worry about
So
it.
this woman came over. This woman came
You're not
over to
getting paid
me.
for this.
They get paid in bathroom breaks. You get
So
to go
the-
to the
I
bathroom.
just
group-
paid you in
this
wine for your
family-
voice.
This family came over, and they did end up. She ended up spending like $40. She was great. But it was a family, and I'm gonna guess this was grandma. I'm guessing it was grandma, mom, and 2 kids. So grandma looks over. She's looking like, oh, these are lovely. And what organizations does this support? I said, it supports me. I'm a queer artist who's on
Yes.
disability. So yeah, this person is. Dan thought that was hilarious. He's like,
love
that was
that.
awesome.
That's
Young
honest.
Nazis of
And we
Greater
love
Rochester.
that. Yeah, right. Yeah,
What
right.
is this supporting? Like, bitch. Like, I made them. Handmade. It says hand. What do you think?
We did not import these from Ghana.
And then
This
when
is like
she
real.
said, then right when she left, this was funny. She's like, she goes, you
can
guys.
adjust. Go ahead. Oh, okay.
Sorry.
She goes, you know, you guys are stoners, but you do make really pretty things. And I was like,
What? Who's the stoner? The queer part or the artist part?
I don't know.
Well,
And the funny part is that only one of us is. Dan
well,
doesn't.
apparently she's never followed Fish of the Dead or anything.
I mean,
'cause
like,
that's
what?
It was such a weird thing to say. It wasn't like I had a bowl out and was smoking or anything. I was just,
you just exude it. I don't know.
I just thought it was
But
weird.
like,
It was just
like
a weird.
literally, what part of I'm a queer artist makes you a
makes-
stoner? I mean,
you
what?
think I'm a
Aren't-
stoner?
You'd have to be high to be queer, right?
Right?
It's so bizarre.
How do you compliment a person without complimenting a person? What did you
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
Like, I'd have to be high to lick pussy. What are you talking
What?
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 I don't know if it was because I make crystal jewelry, so that immediately
really
makes
funny.
me a stoner.
Oh, my
because I imagine some
word.
people might think that might be it too.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know. It was
Kids,
just weird.
kids, don't touch the gay. Don't touch the gay.
So strange. Whatever. Anyway, we did good. It was good to see people. It was kind of exhausting. So you know, as soon as the crowd died out, we're like, yeah, we're packing up, going home.
I hope you don't mind. I have it written down that next year we should totally booth the after party.
We'd have to talk to the organizers. I don't know who they are. But
No,
guess
I know
we
how to
can
do
find
that.
out.
No, I know.
Okay.
No. You obviously, just like we did with the Rochester Erotic Arts Festival, I'm sure there's a fee
That would be
involved.
so fun.
Yeah. Just,
Right? You mean like go to?
we would have a table and like we basically like this. We would have this
Right,
shit
you'd
set
be
up.
here, there.
And so when we did the Erotic Arts Festival was on the table we had these mic stands and they were set up and there were two pointing that way and then anybody who walked by were like, hey, want to talk to us on our podcast? And then
Yes.
I literally had 3 weeks worth of show
I'm telling you, I love that idea. So you'd be at Cobb's Hill after, you mean?
wherever they had
Or,
it.
right.
Is that where they had it? The
Cobb's
Pure
Hill,
Cobb's
yeah,
Hill?
the big picnic after. I love that
Yeah.
idea.
No, totally.
That'd be cool. That nobody else is doing that.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, I'm getting back into things. So even though I've been still around, I really haven't been like me, like in everything, meetings every night kind of thing. It's starting to ramp up again, which is good because I think that's where I belong. But
Oh, did you just have a baby? You sound a lot like me.
no,
I'm just trying to get back into who I
do not
am
have-
and what I'm doing.
my baby was called depression.
Oh,
and,
no.
and other things. So, but I'm starting to jump back in.
That's great.
And yeah, so totally, we should totally do that.
Yeah, talk about it.
We had a great time at the Erotic Arts
Yeah, it
Festival.
was really fun.
That was really fun.
It was
so
fun.
doing that in other spaces would be really
I
cool.
definitely saw some people that I recognized.
Oh, of course.
Cry brand I recognized from the Erotic Arts Festival.
Probably without shirts again, right?
I saw
Well,
them.
I mean, why
I
bother?
saw them more dressed. I pointed that out.
Probably because it was outside.
Yeah,
That's true.
And
It's a family show. This
is
Pride
kind of a
Parade
family
is a
show.
family, like literally, it is like a family show though. Like people bring their families and their kids.
yeah. So I mean, it's one. I mean, there's still thongs and stuff, and
As there
women
should
have,
be.
Women have their boobies out.
Yes.
and it's fine.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yes.
But we saw a lot more than just that.
Oh,
At the Erotic
yeah.
Arts Festival. Oh, I'm
It was
sure
hilarious.
you did.
So the table we were at, so this is in like a hotel. Some table in this room in the same room behind us was selling electrostim stuff. And like you can listen to the shows with the audio and you hear this zapping noise. It sounds like a really fucked up bug zapper behind us.
God.
Like he'd be showing things off or a whip. We'd be talking, so you're whoosh in the background. It's like, that's where we are.
well,
Yeah.
well,
Now you know.
now you know.
Yeah. I mean, I would, and in fact, I even wrote a note last week to just start looking into, because back in the day when I was doing a lot of political stuff or just activism stuff, we tried to be in every parade. We would do, and I still want to do that, but I kind of want to do it for this. I mean, just because it's more fun. I have other activism stuff to do, and we got that damn banner I paid for. That goddamn, we got to use it.
Oh, that's right. We had this
Yeah,
stupid
we,
banner.
we need to find enough people to march in a parade so that we can
That would
use
be
that
funny.
banner. Oh, absolutely. People are like, what? Yeah.
There were plenty of there were definitely groups in the parade that I absolutely had no idea who they were or what they were doing or what they existed. Like because I missed the banner, so I'm like, I don't know, just a bunch of people with rainbow things, and
You can't say that we don't belong because our band, we probably could be, although it's not 100%, at least at the Pride Parade. Labor Day Parade, we would definitely be the only banner with a butt plug on it.
for sure.
I've not seen the banner, but that's incredible.
It's just our logo.
Is
It's
there
our
a
logo.
has a
Oh,
butt
yeah,
plug
yeah,
on
yeah,
it?
Yeah, it's our logo. It has there's a butt
Oh,
plug.
my
There's
word.
a guitar, a mug of beer, a microphone, and a butt plug.
Yeah.
Not in that order.
I mean, why
can't
not?
remember the order.
You know?
So it's pretty right in. Right. That's all I'm saying. Labor Day.
I love
We might have to skip on the Memorial Day parade.
Yeah, I don't know.
That would be
There
a little like, really? That's what my grandfather died for? Yes.
Yes, actually, yes.
Freedom
Freedom of freedom.
There were
Yes.
veterans in the parade.
Sure,
There
yeah,
were,
yeah,
oh yeah,
totally.
the
Freedom of freedom. Come
yeah,
on, people.
like saying like I fought for your freedoms. I'm a veteran. I fought
so
for.
that I could
I,
stick things in my ass.
That's right.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
By the way,
appreciate that.
For those of you who can't see,
I'm
he
making-
is shifting in his chair.
I'm making butt plug movements.
That's what they would be.
Oh my word.
But I don't think the banner will pass muster at the. We can put some like black tape over the butt plug. That would be actually kind of funny.
Put a pride flag over it for any parade. Fuck it.
Well, no, Pride I would leave it. But
No, I'm saying put a
Yeah.
pride flag over the
Over
butt
it
plug
for the other-
for the Memorial Day parade.
Yeah, for the Memorial Day parade.
the Lilac Festival would be interesting. I could draw like some little flowers on it.
I'll be
Oh,
honest.
I
I don't
love
even know
that.
how many parades there are because I never go to any other parades but Pride.
You know what?
There's
My friend's
Labor-
daughter asked me, "What other parades are there?" And I was like, I don't know. The Pride one, and then there's like
There's the St. Patrick's and there's the
St.
Memorial.
Patrick's Day parade, and then there's like
But it's
the
Rochester?
Puerto Rican parade.
Oh,
and
there
then,
is now. You're right.
Yeah,
There's
and she
Puerto
was
Rican.
like, "I've never heard of that." I was like,
Yeah,
"Well,
yeah, yeah.
it
I've
happens,
been
but
in-
I don't know where."
The last time I was in it was the last time I ran for city council. A fucking monsoon. It was, and I'm not playing around. I have never seen rain like this in Rochester in my life. I haven't seen rain like that since rainy season in Hawaii.
Yeah, say Hawaii.
It was, and there was nothing you could do. You were in the because it didn't start at the beginning. It was like
You're
in
in
the
it.
middle of the parade. There was nowhere to go. You was like, fuck it.
We're
I'm
here.
waving.
Hi, everyone.
I'm waving in this. You can't even see some crazy.
I'm here for
asshole.
the Green Party. I appreciate this rain.
God, it was ridiculous.
We need this.
So we had a car behind us with like signs all over it, and like the few people that we got to march with us, they were like crammed in this car. It almost looked like how many people can you fit in a car kind of thing. Well, I'm out there. Me and Alex are out there by ourselves in this effing monsoon, waving to nobody. There's nobody.
no.
It was awesome. It was so funny. It really was.
It almost seems
Awful
like in
or
a movie.
awesome? What was
That
it?
seems
Yeah,
like
yeah.
something that like I
Oh,
can.
it was
I'm
totally-
picturing this scene in my head, and I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah,
seeing
yeah.
this in a movie.
Yep.
Agreed.
Like, like this guy trying to.
There's like
Crazy
a
guy
bunch
running
of there's like
office, yeah.
nobody, and then like a group of people, and then nobody.
Yeah. Oh my! It's right
Watching
down
the
Main
parade.
Street. Right
Yeah.
down Main Street. Absolutely. You couldn't do anything but laugh. What were you supposed to do?
That's right.
That
What are you
was
going to
just
do?
the
Can't get
dumbest
pissed
thing.
about it.
Nah,
What
nah.
are you
it
going
was-
to do?
And then, of course, as soon as the parade was done, rain
It's
stopped.
beautiful,
Sun came out.
beautiful skies.
Fuckers. I had to change shirts because
Nips.
yeah, the nips
Nips.
definitely had the nips going. Not that there's anything wrong with it.
Oh, white t-shirt.
So what else is happening? Is there anything else?
Reading.
I think that's a new. I know that. I gotta tell you.
No, I thought we were gonna
I just want to cover the bases. That's all.
Okay, so
tell us.
Breaking
I
news.
will. No, I don't know if it's breaking
Okay,
news.
great news.
So my son is now 2,
Yeah.
and I feel like, it's like it's time to like get going here. Like, let's get back into who I am as a woman and a human, right? So, can we go here? Is that okay?
We could do
It's our show. We can talk
Okay,
whatever we
I
want.
wasn't sure.
Anything.
So, because there
Talk
could be
about butt
someone
plugs for
out there.
5 minutes.
Because there could be someone out there who's like in the thick of motherhood, and if you're doing it on your own, you're in the thick of it like all the time. And I don't know. The first year I was like, this is my baby, and I just loved it so much. I still love it so much. And then after you get going, year and a half, it's like, okay, I kind of miss like going out on a date. I kind of miss like having sex. I miss like doing the things that made me a woman, Not that I'm not a woman, but a different part of me, right?
Well, I got like 5 minutes after the show. It was
5 minutes is all you need.
Yeah.
5 minutes is all you need. No, I'm teasing. So, I went back to dancing for a little bit. I tried that, which was really fun.
You're so
we
good
talked
at
about that
it.
before.
Yeah.
You're very good at it, my
Yes.
dear.
I think let me tell you, it is not like riding a bike. Okay.
Nah.
That first class, I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, come on, hips, move.
You know how to do that thing. Remember that thing you used to do?
And my arms and everything. Oh, my word.
I thought sex was like riding a bike until my wife told me to stop pedaling. Thank you. I'll be here all weekend.
But
Yeah. I stole that from the
love
Rodney
that.
Dangerfield package.
Oh, it sounds like a Rodney
Yeah, doesn't it?
Dangerfield
Yeah, it
joke.
does.
Oh my
Totally
god, my grandfather used to love it. I'm sure I heard him way too early than I should have as a
Probably. Back
human.
then.
Made me feel bad.
No respect, no respect at all. I'm sorry. I had
We
to
do
say
play
it.
a little bit of Rodney on Stuart
my
Pedessa
God,
Radio.
I love
Trying to do
it.
the plugs.
Oh my god.
So I'm sorry. You're
Yeah,
back
no.
again.
So I went and I danced for a little bit, and that was so great. And they were going to perform, but I was not ready for that. I took the class. I was like, okay, this is good. But it was hard because I had to find, a sitter. So either ask friends, but like, I want to hang out with my friends,
Right, I don't want them to
wanna,
watch my kid. I want
hang
them-
out. Right.
Right,
And
right.
then I have a sitter, but then it's like, she's incredible and you have to pay a sitter. So it's sort of finding that balance. So I recently joined a gym that has childcare and everything's going great
that's
there.
awesome.
Huge. So I've been
That's
like
so good.
working out more, and just that alone is really nice. I have some app access. I have an app that my friend shared with me, and so I can access different things, but I'm just not good at doing things at home. Like at home, I'm like, powering down. But anyway, so I got on the Tinder.
Oh, the Tinder.
I got on the Tinder because I was like, listen, I'm not sure that I have the time or the like gusto to devote to like a relationship and getting to know a person. And, I'm not closed off to that, but I'm also, I don't want to falsely advertise. I don't want to go on a website where people are trying to meet their one and only. And I'm like, I have a one and only, and I have myself, and those are my priorities. So thanks for showing up. It's time to go. No breakfast for you. So anyway.
Damn.
Get in, get out.
That's right. Get out.
Don't mess my hair up.
So, did the Tinder thing. And here is what I want to say about that. And maybe people are having different experiences, and I respect all
There's so
experiences.
many weird stories about Tinder.
I've never done it, so I
people
have
are
no
like,
idea.
Yeah, me either. I haven't.
no, you've not done Tinder.
My wife won't let me.
Yeah, I'm kidding. That's right. So,
Boy,
like,
that would be a good thing to bring up. Hey, honey, I thought I'd just mess around with Tinder just to see what
just
it's
to
like.
see. Let me see what
I'm not gonna
it's
do
for the
anything.
show.
Yeah.
It's for the show. Research. We're doing research. So I go on, and at first I'm like so honest. I'm so honest because I feel like honesty is just the best way to handle it. So I literally, you have all these options. Looking for long-term, short-term fun, still figuring it out, blah, 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 blah. Now, mind you, I have a friend who is on Tinder. She's recently divorced, and she's like going on dates all the time and like doing all these things and having all the sex. I'm like, that's what I want. I can do that. Perfect. Within reason, because I have to get childcare. But anyway.
Right.
So
Let them pay.
right. So I'm like, okay. So I say like short-term fun. Okay. So then you match with all these guys. Cool. You start talking. Cool. Hey, how are you? Great. What are you looking for? And I tell them, well, I'm a single by choice mom, and I'm just looking to kind of go on a couple of dates, have some adult fun, see what's out there, like nothing serious, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, do you have any kinks?
Oh, are you into vanilla sex? Oh, can you send me a foot pic? Oh, tell me about your boobs.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, where is the art of seduction? I understand that this is Tinder. I understand that I said I'm into short-term fun. That does not mean I'm not a person who wants a little seduction. I'm really good. We have to get to that point. Like, before you can
don't get to just see my
you don't get to
boobs.
just see things.
Like,
oh
they
my
are beautiful
word.
and precious, and you cannot just see them.
My
That
word.
might mean you got to put in. I need a little seduction.
I need a little.
No, I mean,
Yes,
in the
yes. I
seduction,
love you know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
then I was talking to my girlfriend, and I was like,
Not a lot. But
no,
little. Yeah,
just a little something. You cannot. You just. Do I
No free
appreciate
boutique,
your
no
honesty?
free-
Yes, I do. Do I appreciate it? I do. And am I like, I don't know, maybe I've aged out of this. I just don't know. But I feel like women can have sex at any age. Can we just, what is happening? So I asked my girlfriend, how do you, she goes, I'm not sure, still figuring it out. Okay, I'm still figuring it out too. Boom, I changed my profile from short-term fun to figuring it out. Okay, still matching, still talking. But it's like, why is it so hard? I feel like it should not be so hard to find a person who's like, hey, I am so respectful of women. I am skilled in the art of sexual activity. Let's talk and meet and see where we go. That's it. Oh, wow. Oh, what? Is that?
I feel like that's a unicorn. I don't think they exist.
Whoa. No. Okay,
Just kidding. No, I know they exist. I don't know. I wish I knew one to send your way.
Oh my God, you're so funny. Oh boy.
Okay, so as the person who would be on the receiving end
Right,
of that,
right.
So, and I've never been on any of these apps, so I don't know. But I'm just thinking, I honest, and this could be a me thing. I just don't see it. If I put exactly what you said, it sounds like I just think that I would be perceived as just some kind of creep. But that's really would. I hate using this term, but that would work. That would be okay. That
What would be okay?
what
Be more
you just
specific.
said that I'm what? How did you?
Not
put it?
like but just
I'm
like
skilled in the
talk.
sexual
No,
art?
you wouldn't say. But it would be more of like a, hey, how are? It's just this fine. It's just this fine art of like flirtation and
sure,
talking.
that part I get, but I mean,
like
I
going
find-
immediately to, do you have any kinks? Can we not? Like, can we just not? Can we meet each other? Like, can we at least look at each other's face to see if we're into each other? I'm
Before I tell you
horny.
about
I'm
my
not desperate.
right, I'm like before I tell you about my
And
sexual
here's another
things.
thing. What's a kink for some is not considered a kink for others.
Correct.
So I also feel like that question in general is really, what is the word I'm looking for? I just feel like that question in general, though I think it's the hope is that it'll be, oh, I'm so open. I feel like that question in general is really like limiting, because it's like, I could really love something that some people could consider a kink. Or like, if you're into feet things, that could be your kink. And I'm not like sending you a pic tomorrow, but if we get to know each other and we hit it off, sure, here's my fucking pedicure. Like, oops, sorry. Like, I don't give a shit.
Right.
But like, we got to get there, you know?
Okay, I'm going to assume.
I want you to tell it to me straight.
No. I'm actually minor tangent. Because before we hit record, we were talking about things for like a quote a second income. My understanding, no, the truth. No, because it's not my jam. No pun intended. But it's not my thing. But from what I understand, women can make amazing kind of money with feet pics.
See, I didn't look into that. That's one of those
Totally.
things I didn't look
Totally.
into.
That's my understanding. From what I've seen on the internet,
Oh my God.
holy shit. You
Immediately gets out
totally-
phone and Googles.
I think there's actually like an OnlyFans just for feet kind of thing. I don't know the name of it.
Oh my
I
word.
think there is. And if that's the case, you wouldn't even have to show your face.
Perfect.
That's what I'm saying.
That's perfect.
Don't. I have to stand up later. Do that to me.
Oh my word. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, that's good to know. It's a good tangent. I'm open. So,
I'm looking at Melissa's
I'm
face.
just making a goofy face.
Oh my god. Are you looking at your face? Is that face because
Are you checking out your own feet? What are we
No,
doing?
I don't know.
Where are we going? Let's
don't
go.
know.
What do we
Dude,
got?
look, don't even look at my feet because right now I'm doing the baby foot thing, so they don't look their best.
So good though.
I know, so they don't look their best right now, and I was mad
it's
because
gonna
it
feel
wasn't.
so good.
I know it's gonna be great when it's all done, but I couldn't wear sandals yesterday. I was mad.
Was the face about your feet
No, I
or
was
about?
making about your face.
My-
I was
yeah,
making
I
a
just
face on
remember-
your face.
Because I was getting a little too into it.
Your face.
was.
Your face was a face.
I have no poker face.
Oh, that's okay. As
No,
long
it
as you
is.
don't ask a person about their kinks in like 5 minutes of talking to them. No poker face
Know
is
you
fine.
For years. I told you.
You
It's
have
just
known
so
me for years.
weird. I mean, I know
Right,
that this is
thank
a
you.
thing
It
that
feels
happens,
a little
but-
like I don't know. It just right. Like, shouldn't there be a little? I don't know.
Okay, let me
I
try to
don't
connect
know.
some things here. Okay, so think about when we were at the Erotic Arts Festival and the things we were talking about in terms of consent.
that was a lot of
this
that
is
there.
connects. There's a lot of that, and I don't know, but like on something like Tinder, which there's a I mean, when you do some of the other ones, from my understanding, it is more of finding the one true.
Yes.
Where Tinder just seems to be like the wild wild west.
You know what? That's fair. And maybe I'm just not on. I thought I
Oh,
was
I
being.
wasn't saying
No,
that to,
I'm
like,
like
correct you.
reflecting.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
I'm
no.
thinking and reflecting. Like maybe this is not.
I know because the people I have to. That's one of the things we actually really both of us loved about the people that we met there and the different classes and stuff. Everything 100% first word consent.
Yeah.
First word consent. You have and like they do have like orgy rooms and
Of
dungeons and all that.
course.
You have to take classes first about consent, about how things go before you're even
Yes.
allowed to go into those rooms.
I love that.
And I loved that. I mean,
So
I mean,
you have
maybe
to
that's
test
what I need
into
to
the
look
orgy room.
into.
you basically have to test
have to
into the
test
orgy
Maybe
room.
Tinder is not it. Maybe I need to get myself involved in this erotic arts festival
You
crowd.
probably, honestly, you
Come
probably
on
meet
over,
a better.
folks.
You probably meet a better.
well,
better person.
better luck.
Maybe
Probably
but-
would.
Okay, the consent thing would be really high on the list, but that's
I
Okay,
know
that
that's
is not
that's
vanilla.
some stuff. I know
That
that's
is-
some
yeah,
stuff.
we talked to
And
some
I'm
folks out there.
right.
Right.
I think I'm like
though.
moderate. Yes, I
Moderate.
understand that.
Yeah,
that's
like
over here.
there's a. I'm in the middle somewhere.
Oh yeah.
But they were. But I thought that was really cool. I thought like that was like the number one like word to use. I think of that it was consent.
well, our
it's sexy, but it's consent first.
bit, our bit for that whole 2-day thing there was everybody who would come by and talk, we would ask them what their safe word was.
I love that.
And a lot of and sometimes there were actual
It's like
like
a bit,
serious
but, like, for
discussions.
real.
But yeah, no, because we had some funny talk too. Because there
Yeah.
were some really funny ones as well.
Yeah, like pineapple upside down cake. What?
Lots of food.
Great.
Yes, yeah, food.
Lots of food,
It was about
safe words.
50-50.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of them were like red, green, yellow kind of
Yeah,
thing.
that's a
Yeah.
pretty
But the
common
other half
one.
was food.
Yeah, red, green, yellow is a common one. I found out. I didn't even know about that.
didn't
But
know that.
a lot of people use food words though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking about consent, real quick, and bringing it back to Pride for a hot second, we were sitting outside. I was at a table with all cisgender women, but a mix of lesbians and not. And then there were other people out at the table. I'm not sure, right? Other people were at their tables doing their thing. And this man walked by with a literal ball sack on a string attached to a stick. And
Like a dude
like
ball sack?
like
Truck nuts kind of thing?
like truck nuts, but they looked like they could have been silicone. They were like nude. They were tan colored rather. They were like tan and hanging on a a string on a stick. And he like was walking by and he like put it in our table area, and then he went to the next table area.
I don't like
And
that.
I literally said to my girlfriends, we did not consent to that. Like,
No, I
that's
don't like
not
that at
funny.
all.
And I said, respectfully, leave it to a man to just throw his balls in the middle of a table and think all of us women are going to like it.
Yeah. No, I don't like that either. That would really bother me.
And you can edit that out if that's not
What?
appropriate.
No, it's
never-
perfect.
that's-
But like, what on this
No,
earth?
I
Like
think that's
that's
rude.
not funny. That's not.
You want to
funny.
just like walk around with the balls on a string, just walk around. That's fine. That's your thing, whatever.
fine.
But
You have your group of friends. Everybody's doing silly things. Fine,
Great.
But it's not okay to like we were not paying attention to him. We were having our conversation, drinking our wine, enjoying ourselves, ha ha ha, laughing. I didn't have the baby. Mom was having a nice time. And all of a sudden, like grrr, balls. Can you not?
yeah, yuck. Don't like it.
Fuck. I love men so much, and then they do something like this, and I'm like, "Can you stop it? You're a horrible
Well,
representation."
next time I go to the meeting, I'll bring it up.
Please, would you please?
Please.
Our naked drum circle.
Thank you. Now that is divine masculinity, a naked drum circle.
That would
Toxic masculinity, balls on a stick and throwing it in people's faces. Throwing it in people's faces.
Yep.
Awful. Just ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Funny.
I'm trying to think of something funny with that, but it's really no. The ridiculous was good.
Yeah.
But even a
I
joke or a
know.
bit, I don't. I got nothing. I'm like, dude, what are you thinking?
Anyway, so we were talking about consent, and that is what made me think about that. I literally said that.
How did the other women react?
No one was into it.
Well, I mean,
The lesbians were like, "What the fuck? I don't want any part of that."
right. I'm like, I want no part of that nonsense.
And I don't. The other tables were just like, "What the fuck? No, what the fuck?" And then he just kept going.
Rude. Just
Such
being rude.
attention-seeking behavior. What are you doing, sir?
All right.
I will say great outfits though. So
Oh,
many
my
great outfits. Oh yeah. I will say that's one of the things that Dan loves because, you know, he does come from a family of fashion people
We love
and
that.
clothing people and things like that. So he is right there with noticing everything people are wearing and the boots and the clothing, and that was actually really
my
cute.
gosh.
Listening to my husband go, "Oh my God, look what he's wearing! Look what she's wearing! Look what they're wearing! Look at that!" So cute.
In the audience and the parade goers, you're saying?
Yeah,
Both,
everybody.
yes.
Oh yeah, everybody.
There was, I wish I could remember the group or what have you, but there was a person with this long blue tulle train. Do you remember?
I don't know if I
Oh my
remember that.
gosh, I loved it so much. It was just this royal blue train, like brrr, so pretty.
But you might have seen things that had. Well, I also was like kind of working too, so sometimes I wasn't watching.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
We were just sitting
Just
out
sitting
watching,
there, hanging out, and having a
living life.
cocktail and enjoying
living the
life.
best life,
Just like you're supposed to.
Yeah,
living the dream.
I did not have any. Actually, this was the first sober Pride I've probably been to in many, many years, other than the ones I wasn't there.
Can you drink though with your meds, or are you still?
Oh, I'm not on any meds
I
anymore.
wasn't sure. I wasn't sure.
No,
You just weren't because you
no.
were working.
Yeah. Well, I
And
just.
you
Well, no,
were
I
just
drank
kinda
last
there,
year.
yeah.
I don't drink as much as I used to. So like, and it just didn't. I don't know. It just like Billy and Pete weren't drinking, and
Yeah.
I didn't
You
bring
were-
anything.
you were
And like, and it
pounding
was
the Bud
really
Light.
hot.
Get
Yeah.
It was really hot.
It was really hot. So I drank
Yeah.
water. They also had some really good iced tea, and I had that.
Very
So it was
good. I
fine.
love
Yeah,
that.
I didn't
love
really.
that.
I haven't. Yeah, it was too. I didn't really even feel like drinking yesterday.
And you don't have to. I hope I didn't like make it sound like you had to, or you needed a reason not to. I hope I didn't
No,
sound
I
like
just
that.
no.
'Cause
I
you
know.
don't.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm just not drinking as much because I have cholesterol issues. That's it. That's the main reason. Plus, it's really nice actually not having hangovers anymore.
Meanwhile, 3/4 of a way into a Chardonnay unoaked.
It's early in the day. I'll drink a bunch of wine. I'll drink a bunch of wine. I'll drink a bunch of water, not wine. Bunch of
truth
water.
comes
when I
out.
get- No, I don't even have. Oh, I do have wine in my house. It's wine that is really nice and really good wine that, because Dan isn't drinking right now, it's just sitting there. I mean, he may go back to. He's just not drinking at this moment.
Okay.
So he might go back to drinking like at that moment. Then we'll drink that wine.
Very good.
But right
Very
now we're
good.
taking a sober. You know, some people times you take a sober time.
I've done
Some
that.
sober times.
Yeah, I got 5 minutes.
I made it 5 minutes. It's incredible.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
I could have won 10 if I wanted to.
I totally could have gone 10 if I wanted to.
That's all I'm saying. All right, I'm going to change on a.
Yes,
no
yes,
segues.
yes.
Sometimes we're really slick with our segues, and then there's
No.
times
Not
like
at all.
this.
It's me.
There's
There's no slickness. Especially when I'm asked what's my kink within the first 5 minutes. I'm sorry. Let me put my teacher
about
hat
the
on.
nuts?
I feel like we're transitioning.
Oh, I just.
Teacher hat.
What do you do when the host no longer has control of the party?
Oh, I don't care.
That
about
happens here all the time.
No, I'm not. That's not. I'm just like. Do I run with the slickness thing? Am I doing this? Am I doing
I
this
think I see a
now?
bit. I think I see a bit
I don't
in
know
the
about
future.
that, but, well, we've done that. We've already done lube commercials. Good
Yes, we
eye.
have.
Good eye.
Oh, that was a good
Yeah,
one.
Oh my word.
Australian pimp lube.
Oh my
That's an
word.
old one.
Aye.
That's an oldie but goodie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How long have you been doing this podcast?
Almost 15 years.
Wow. I have another question actually
Yeah.
about the Pride Parade. Do you know why Rochester does it in July?
No.
And not
I'll
June.
bet you somebody knows this.
I'm sure.
I mean,
I've
there's-
asked a couple of
I
friends.
found out, I mean, just from the internets, that UK does Pride in August. So maybe
just
it's
be
just
a
like
thing.
just kind of spreading the Pride
Could just
around
be
through
a
the
thing.
summer. Or,
I mean, I love it.
Or there's
I mean,
other
I'm great with
parades
it.
or
I mean, to
whatever.
me, it's
I love
Pride.
it.
year
It's
round.
Pride.
It's
Thank
always
you.
Pride.
Thank
but,
you.
know,
But we just use a month to really highlight.
how much we love
That's
it.
right. That's right.
All right, so let's talk about some reading. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Can we just get right into it?
Let's get into reading. Oh man, I wish I would have brought some notes or something. No.
We don't need that.
I like books.
Yeah.
I really like to back up what I say with specific facts.
Okay.
Let the record show. I texted him and he was like,
What did you?
ghosted. You ghosted me. I got nothing back from you.
What did you?
I was like, what exactly are we talking about? I just want to make sure I don't show up and no, this was yesterday or the day before. I said, what exactly are we talking about? I want to make sure that I show up with information, not just, I mean, I've been doing a lot of research on my own, but I'm a nerd. I like to know 35% of people are and I don't have those.
Yeah, but you don't
percentages.
have to do that on our show.
Okay.
You can just talk about what the reading thing.
Okay, cool. What do you want to know about the reading thing?
I don't know. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Well, let's go.
Oh my God! You texted me on Friday.
I'm not mad at you.
No, but I'm
not
mad at me. That's how do I?
But what the fuck? No, I'm just
Well,
kidding.
Okay, for true, I do have this Fisher Price phone that just sometimes lets me know I have text and sometimes doesn't.
Fair. You know what? That's fair. It's all good.
Anyway.
It's all good. Let's go.
Trust me, you're an expert. You got this. Where I want to go, you got this.
Okay.
So, I am a teacher as well, but I am not even close to teaching people how to read. That is
Right.
just not my jam. I
Right.
got nothing. I want them already knowing by the
Right.
time they get to me. So I know that there's phonics and there's whole language, right? And again, not being a reading teacher, I'm sure there's more visions or techniques than that. But it seemed to be where back in the day when some of us were young anyway, it was pretty much phonics. And then this whole language thing came in where it was, well, actually, you know what? I'll butcher that. So what actually is that?
I have
whole
no idea what that
language?
is.
Right. Okay.
I know
So,
what phonics is.
am I allowed to name another? Okay.
You are allowed to do whatever you want.
Okay. So there is an educational reporter. Her name is Emily Hanford. Emily Hanford.
Okay.
Yeah. And she did I'm sorry if I messed up her name. And she did the podcast called Sold a Story. And it came out last
Sold a
summer.
Story?
Sold a Story. Mhm.
Okay.
And it was all about how the way we've been teaching children how to read, in quotes, is actually not what brain research supports.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So when I listened to the podcast, it all, okay, so brief, I'm going to briefly touch on it as I tell the story, because this was really, for me, a big eye opener. So I've taught kindergarten for a very long time. I taught for 13 years straight, and I loved it. I loved kindergarten so much. So I taught children how to read, how I was taught in my master's program how to teach children how to read. It's called the 3 cueing system. You have children look at the picture to help them figure out the word. You have children think, does that make sense, to figure out the word. You have children like look at the letter, like look at the beginning letter and like, what's the beginning letter? Okay, what do you think the word could be, right? And that's how I was trained. I got my master's degree in literacy, and that's what I learned.
So you pretty much
And
master's degree in literacy. You
it's like-
figure you're like, I know shit.
Like, oh, okay, this is it. Like,
Right,
I'm
right,
listening to all these professors. This is it. And I taught in a suburb for a decade, and I moved to a different school, and we tended to serve children from marginalized populations. And it was there that I was like, man, these kids are not reading. Like, what is going on here? And I was there for 3 years as a teacher. And on my second year, I was like, what is going on? And then by my third year, I was like, okay, this is like, seriously. So I started to research a little more, and I had some conversations with with a colleague of mine. And she shared a visual with me, and it basically said, reading isn't guessing. And I looked at it and I was like, well, fuck. Like, literally, one of the strategies on our cute little multicolor strategy card is guess the word. Like, if you can't figure it out by the beginning sound, if you can't figure it out by the picture, guess the word. And what I'm learning now that I know,
that's like huge.
right?
Wow.
Right? So, like, when I think about how I had taught children to read for so many years, it was kindergarten, and I did a lot of work on sight words. So, like, these are the words you need to learn and know. And when you memorize these words, you can read. You know, and, can, read, the, is, to, go, so, whatever, right?
Right. Those the common ones.
That like list of high frequency words. And so in kindergarten, their books were leveled, and there would be certain levels that children could read. And I would be like, yeah, we're progressing through the levels. We're progressing through the levels. We're doing great. And then I would send them off to first grade, and the first grade teachers would do what they did. And in the school where I was, we had veteran teachers who had taught for decades. We're like talking tier 1 retirement system teachers. So they were doing the phonics, and they were doing all of those things. And we had phonemic awareness in our kindergarten program, which was fantastic. But we had first grade teachers who were exceptional and experienced, like true master teachers. And so our children were progressing through these levels. But then still, as children get through their grades, like in general, not just in the district I was in, but in general, as children move through grades and the picture goes away and the complexity of words increases, and you have multisyllabic words, and you have words that if you don't know the phonics patterns to, you don't really know, like, how do I decode this? And we were finding in general that, like, in this particular district, like, the kids just weren't doing it, right? So, yeah.
Because this is, and I apologize for anybody who doesn't.
Sorry if this is too much teacher talk. Please
No,
ask
no,
all
I
the
have-
questions.
I'm fascinated by
I have
this.
a teacher talk question that, because I hear this word all the time.
Okay.
And I don't, and I have to, and, I don't even know if I should admit this. I don't know
Ask
what it means.
That's okay.
What does decoding mean?
Yeah, great question.
know
I
that
think you should ask so that anybody who's listening
As a
might not
middle
know.
high school high school
Yeah.
teacher, I don't know what the fuck decoding
Right.
is.
So decoding is when you can look at a word and you can think about it this way. Reading is like a secret code. So you have all of your phonics patterns. You have your consonant sounds, right? We all know, like, you teach your kids letter names and letter sounds. And then the real code comes when you teach kids that EA says E and OUGH says off. But sometimes it says whatever else it says. Right? Oh, right. So, or ow, like in the word bow, meaning like, you know, like BOU, like, whatever. Unless I'm wrong. Sorry if I'm wrong. Now I'm 2 glasses of wine in, and now I'm just talking and having fun because I love to talk about reading.
That's why Miss Special K doesn't drink on the job.
That's right. That's right. I can drink on a podcast, but not on the job. So in advance, if anyone's listening to this and they're like, "She's wrong," fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Let's move on. So anyway, so decoding is be able to look at a word and like crack the code. That's what reading is. Cracking the code, figuring out what all of these letters and sounds and patterns, what they mean. So decoding is being able to look at a sentence that says the cat has a red hat and being able to read that. The cat has a red hat. You're decoding. You're going through the words. Excuse me. So, and that's not just where I was prior to where I am now. So I was doing a lot of research, and what I was finding is that the 3 cueing system, this idea of thinking about the meaning, syntax, and MSV visual. Excuse me. That is not really helping our children learn. What it's doing is learn to read. It's pulling their attention away from the word, and it's bringing it to everything else, right? So it's like, right, you're at a liquor store and you really want red wine. You want a really good cab. And you walk into the red.
Was this an example you used in class?
110%.
Hey kids.
Okay, kids. You're in a liquor store, and you know that you want a cab,
Just like
right?
K wants.
And the cab is going to tell you the cab is going to make your evening perfect. But instead of the clerk saying, "Here's our row of cabs, and let me tell you about them," the clerk says, "Take a look over here. What do you see over here? It's tequila. Okay. Take a look over here. What do you see over here? It's a rosé. Take a look over here. What do you see over here? It's a white. Take a look over here. What do you see?" Right? So decoding is bringing the attention back to that that red aisle, right? Whereas everything else essentially is the opposite of that. It's not. And how can we expect children to read, understand what they're reading? Because that's the reason for reading, is to comprehend. I mean, you said earlier before this show started, Dave, you were saying how you were going through some stuff. Your friend gave you this book. You read this book and you were like, this is what I needed right now. Had you not had the tools to decode the words on the page, you would not have comprehended. That is part of it. Had you not had the background knowledge, you would not have comprehended it. Had you not had the vocabulary, you would not have comprehended it. The goal of reading is to understand what we're reading. Yes. And so I almost got like super soapboxy. So the goal of reading is to understand and comprehend what we're reading. So back to what we have. So we're basically sending children into a liquor store and they want red wine. They go into a liquor store and they want red wine, and we're like, what's over here? And a fake ID. And what's over here? And what's over here? And what's over here? And what's over there? Right? And so they're like everywhere except for where they need to be. And that's not right. And that's not equitable. And what this podcast did was it shined the light on what is happening. Go ahead.
So the brain research is saying,
yes,
and I'm going to use this terminology on purpose. The old school boring way of doing phonics is really the way our brains work.
Yeah. And so then it becomes about the delivery, right? It becomes about the delivery.
Administrators are freaking the fuck out.
So then here's the thing. Talk about like what is shiny and cute and cool, right? When you listen to this podcast, yeah, you are so shiny and cool. You're the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you listen to this podcast, what is like mind blowing, right, is that it starts at how. Okay, so it opens with, I'm not going to give the whole thing away, but I'm just giving you a little background. The pandemic really shined the light on all of this. And the pandemic was saying, like, parents were doing this virtual school with children, and they were hearing their children read, but they weren't looking at the word. And parents were literally like, wait, what are you, like, it doesn't say sea, it says ocean. Like, why are you saying sea? It says ocean. Just because there's water there, like, that's not the word. Like, why are you not looking at the word, right? So, like,
So they were tying the picture to
Yes.
any word they knew that had to do with,
yeah,
with water.
right,
Interesting.
right. So parents were like, and they were seeing children, they were seeing their children really struggling through the decoding process, the reading process. And their teachers were like, not quite. What do you think it could be? Take a look. And this is not me making a dig at teachers, because I was a teacher. I did this, and it took a lot of me.
Well, you were taught to
Coming
do that,
to-
but you were taught to do that.
100%.
You assume that the
Yeah.
teachers in your
100%.
college program
Right.
knew their shit and,
Right.
and it's all
assume-
that.
right.
Right. And
No
so
blame
it's
on
like
the teachers.
no blame.
No blame on the teachers.
Never blame on teachers. Are you kidding me? We're the must. So
Really aren't.
Except for the shitty ones, but we all know that.
well,
I
so-
try to give teachers.
Bob.
I will almost.
Joe, whatever
Yeah.
you own this.
fuck.
I try to give all teachers the benefit of the doubt because I do because I love
Bob.
teachers and I think
Hate
they're
that guy.
important. Yeah.
Except fucking Bob. FB fucking Bob.
Just retire
So-
already, Bob.
So this podcast kind of opens with these examples of children not really reading. And so Emily Henford goes in to share about the podcast throughout. It's like six episodes. It goes in to share the history a little bit. And it talks about the history of how we were taught how to read, and there was a certain administration that people were not really digging, the Bush administration.
Yeah, I'm like I already know what you're going to tell.
And Laura Bush was like, she had, if I remember correctly, again, if I'm wrong, fuck off. Respectfully, Google it yourself. I have nothing in front of me about my memory. Thank you. So she was like, this son of mine had some trouble reading, but like, this is what helped him. And so she would look at these, I hate to say underperforming, but like schools that just weren't, their children were not reading and their scores were below what a benchmark would be. And so she said, hey, let's start this program, Reading First, where we support phonics.
First in a long
Right. We are supporting this phonics instruction and we're getting children to understand the rules behind it. And you know what? It's not warm and fuzzy. It's not cute and warm and fuzzy. It's like, hey,
do the work.
this is it. Like, this is the thing. And I'm going to teach this to you. And it's going to be maybe tricky, but we're going to learn it and we're going to figure it out. It's not like, oh, get your book and go in the corner with your reading pal and have a read. And really, you're looking at the pictures. Like it's really reading and looking at the words. So
It's actually, I mean,
That did
learning
not-
it is a struggle. Learning the
Yes.
I
language
can tell
is a
you,
struggle.
when they get to
For
us,
everybody. It's a struggle.
Yes.
all in
Well, in
one
high
line.
school, it's like,
Yes.
like I'm going to be there trying to teach kids to read when I don't know how to fucking do that.
no, exactly right.
I'm going to
here's
teach
the-
you why white people suck. I'm not
Right.
gonna- yeah,
Like, that's what I know.
You know that's right.
Right.
You know that's right.
I can't.
I don't know. I
And
don't
so it's so true. And even in your upper grades, understanding how to break apart words, understanding the prefix, the suffix, the root word, understanding why this means what
Right.
it is, understanding what this pattern does when I
remember that
read
as
a word.
student.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And by the way, just a quick thing. When I say white people suck, there's 3 white people in the room. We all agree. So. Whatever. Just making sure we're all on the same page.
I don't
right?
think anyone listening to your podcast is going to be
The 2 people in Finland maybe are like, oh.
Don't you make
my
fun of my Finnish
word.
friend.
Ayo.
I'm telling you, one of them's probably my friend.
Bro,
You know
I said
that's
that on
right.
purpose because you're here and your friend listens. That was on purpose.
I love
was
that.
Yante, if you're listening,
That was a good thing.
You're a good dude.
Whoa. That was
Right.
a diss.
Right.
That was not a diss at all. That was the opposite.
I love it. So she kind of goes through the history of it, and then what is
Especially
so
Yante's not with a
interesting.
Y too, right?
Not with a Y.
See? Fucking
With a
phonics.
J.
It's John A. Then his name.
Well,
God damn it!
It's fucking. It's
I'm
Swedish.
I'm kidding.
It's Swedish.
I'm kidding.
Swedish.
That's a separate language. That's a whole other thing. I
Which-
cannot
it's
speak about
coming.
that.
It's coming. Don't worry, y'all. The Danish and
Well,
the
it
Estonian
is Germanic, much like
Oh,
it is
that's
Germanic.
right.
It is
Lay
a
this shit down.
Germanic language like English. So
That's right. That's right.
there's that.
So, anyway, she goes through and she talks about the history of it a little bit, and then we learn about these big names in reading that, right. So people are like, ugh, no, we're not doing reading first. Ugh. And then the war happened and it was just like, it's a no for me. Okay. Meaning we're not supporting this president. We're not supporting these initiatives, whatever. But really, this initiative is like what our kids need to learn how to decode. Decoding leads to reading comprehension with vocabulary instruction and background knowledge and all of these other things, right? I'm not saying that phonics is the answer. I'm saying it's a big part of the puzzle. There are a lot of things that come together there.
Oh, that's how I learned, and I'm a really good reader. I'm
Right,
just saying.
right.
I taught my son
Right.
partially how to read with
Right.
phonics. He's a really good reader. Too.
Right. And that's what this...
He wrote a fucking book.
That's right.
My son wrote a book.
And that's what this podcast sort of talks about is
I
how...
read a book.
Shout out to you. And thanks to decoding, you could do that.
You can read a
I mean, all these books in here
Decoding
are
now.
really just for like show, but I've read a book. You know.
You read one. It's that one over there with the dust. You read it a long, long time ago.
No, it's my Seuss book. It's in my classroom. It's in my classroom.
Your Seuss book. Racist.
Hooray.
Anyway,
Dude, don't.
dude.
I
You know how much it hurts my heart?
It does.
I
it
know.
does.
So she talks about all of that and how incredible that, right? And so we switched gears and we moved to this, like whole language kind of came about. Whole language is the idea that, like, if you expose children to reading, they're just going to figure out how to read. If you expose children to books, they're just going to figure out, they're going to be able to crack the code just by being exposed to it. And so enter all of these like big names in reading: Marie Clay, Lucy Calkins, Fountas and Pinnell. And these are all women who really focused on this idea of exposure to books. Like, I literally remember sitting in my master's class and hearing the word exposure to incredible literature, exposure to authentic texts. And like, yeah, that's so beautiful. And that can grow an interest in reading, but that's not going to help a student sit down in front of a book and read the words on the page and then make meaning. So
Also, not every child, fortunately, has the ability to be exposed to books.
and
Like, I was very exposed to books, but not every
100%
child has
correct.
that ability.
100% correct.
Well, I mean, just quote, exposure to anything doesn't necessarily mean makes you interested in it. I could have this room filled up to the ceiling with butt plugs. It doesn't mean you're walking out here ready to
Right.
jam something.
I'm not interested in a butt plug up my booty.
Right.
That's right.
No
judgment. No judgment.
If that's your kink, Anna.
That's your kink. You live with that.
enjoy that
So the past year and even the past couple of years, I would say for me personally, the past 3-4 years, I started to learn a little bit more about reading, and like, kids they're not reading. Why are our kids not reading? And then by reading, I mean pulling words from the page and making meaning. It's a lot of like I said, once you get away from pictures, and heart word or sight words, it's kind of like, I don't know. And then kids are getting frustrated. And so about a year ago, this podcast came out, Sold a Story, and it just really shook things because it really shone a light on everything that is like, I hate to say, my brain went to everything that is wrong with how we teach kids how to read, but there's really no nice way to say it.
No,
There's no nice way.
wrong.
And so it highlights something called the science of reading. Now, the science of reading is not a method, it's not a philosophy, it's not a framework. It is various bodies of research, right? So the science of reading is various bodies of research from different scientific studies. So you have like brain research, and you have like, gosh, I wish I had it in front of me. I literally did a presentation on this, like metacognition and like all of these things, right? And it takes all of that together and it says like, well, this is how the brain learns, period. This is how the brain learns reading. This is how the brain learns science. This is how the brain learns whatever, social cues, math, whatever the case may be.
They learn. Yeah.
And so you have this body of research that that shares and gets specific on how the brain learns, period. And then it's the job of teachers, professors to figure out how to put that into best practice so that then our children can read. And what's happening is this body of research has been around since the 80s. This is not fucking new. This research that says this is how the brain learns how to do XYZ is not new. But we meaning teachers, people in academia who teach teachers, have not, there just hasn't been a crossover. And again, I'm not placing blame. I'm just saying there hasn't been a crossover. But we have these big names in reading, and I say that in quotes, Marie Clay, Fountas and Pinnell, Lucy Calkins, who like made millions of dollars on teaching kids how to read, quote unquote, but you're literally not. And this podcast talks about how when you have these affluent families and they're attending these schools and they're not doing well in school, those families get tutors. And what do those tutors teach? Phonics patterns, vocabulary, orthographic mapping, breaking down words. That's what these tutors are teaching. So then these children from these affluent homes go to school and they're doing fine. So it looks like this way of teaching reading is working, but it's not working. And then you have our minority students who are not getting that instruction. They're getting the same instruction that I learned in my master's program that does not work.
The white rural students,
Right.
That's what I'm with right now.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, them too.
100%.
Same thing. Yeah.
It's kind of
Yes.
racial, but it's just a class.
Very
Definitely
fair. Thank you for
classes.
pulling that in.
Yeah.
You're
No, it's
absolutely
true.
right.
It's
That's not my
classes.
experience.
Right,
so I'm
right.
glad that you pulled
'Cause
that
right
in.
now
Yeah.
I'm teaching mostly rural kids.
Yes, and I am
most of
teaching
them
our urban
Right, yeah,
population.
right.
Right.
So I was going to go there. I mean, that's like a majority of the problem is not just you want to say, oh, only teachers care about this. And I'm going to bring it back to a topic that we bring up all the time that I know some of you are going to roll your eyes. A lot of the reason is capitalism. You say these people are making millions of dollars.
Making millions of dollars.
There's